Yes, welcome back. Let's read some more. The sun is shining. I'm a little bit sleepy and tired. I need to fix my bed. So let's read. Yes, I'm sleepy. So I'm slow. So let's try read this. For a long time I like to read it, but there's many hundred I like to read, but I don't have the time and energy, so I only read one by one. So now I read this.
Hyksos. Hyksos, a man described as a Vishuddha Hyksos, SWT, Hykakasat for Hyksos, leading a group of Armu. Tomb of Knumhut II, circa 1900 BC. 1. 2. This is one of the earliest known uses of term Hyksos. 3. Hyksos, /HKSS Egyptian Q. W, SWT, Egyptological pronunciation Hekor-Kasut, 4, ruler, S, of foreign lands, is a term which, in modern Egyptology, designates the kings of the 15th dynasty of Egypt. 5. Fluid c. 1650 BC. A. The seat of power of these kings was the city of Avaris in the Nile Delta, from where they ruled over Lower Egypt and Middle Egypt up to QC. In the Egyptica, a history of Egypt written by the Greco-Egyptian priest and historian Manetho in the 3rd century BC. The term Hyksos is used ethnically to designate people of probable West Semitic, Levantine origin. 1. 9. While Manetho portrayed the Hyksos as invaders and oppressors, this interpretation is questioned in modern Egyptology. 10. Instead, Hyksos' rule might have been preceded by groups of Canaanite peoples who gradually settled in the Nile Delta from the end of the 12th dynasty onwards and who may have seceded from the crumbling and unstable Egyptian control at some point during the 13th dynasty. 11. The Hyksos period marks the first in which Egypt was ruled by foreign rulers. 12. Many details of their rule, such as the true extent of their kingdom and even the names and order of their kings, remain uncertain. The Hyksos practiced many Levantine or Canaanite customs as well as many Egyptian customs. 13. They have been credited with introducing several technological innovations to Egypt, such as the horse and chariot, as well as the sickle sword and the composite bow, a theory which I disputed. 14. The Hyksos did not control all of Egypt. Instead, they coexisted with the 16th and 17th dynasties, which were based in Thebes. 15. Warfare between the Hyksos and the pharaohs of the late 17th dynasty eventually culminated in the defeat of the Hyksos by Ahmose I, who founded the 18th dynasty of Egypt. 16. In the following centuries, the Egyptians would portray the Hyksos as bloodthirsty and oppressive foreign rulers. Name. Etymology. Hyksos in hieroglyphs S38. N29, N25, S38, N29, N25, Z2, SW/WSWT, 17, 18, Hyksos, 4, B, Hyksos ruler, S, of the foreign countries, 17, Greek Hyksos, Hyksos, 21. The term Hyksos is derived, via the Greek, Hyksos, from the Egyptian expression, SWT or WSWT, Hekor-Kasut, meaning rulers, of, foreign lands. 17, 18. The Greek form is likely a textual corruption of an earlier, Hyksos. 21. The 1st century AD Jewish historian Josephus gives the name as meaning shepherd kings or captive shepherds in his Contra Apian, against Apian, where he describes the Hyksos as Jews as they appeared in the Hellenistic Egyptian. Historian Manetho. 23, 24. This whole nation was styled Hyksos, that is, shepherd kings, 4th first syllable Hyc, according to the sacred dialect, denotes a king, as is Sos a shepherd. But this according to the ordinary dialect. Standard characters for Hyksos in label for Abisha. The Hyksos in Thetum of Knumhut 2, c. 1900 BC. 22. The crook means ruler. The hill is a phonetic complement q /to while stands for foreign country, pronounced st, plurals. The sign marks the plural. 22. And of these is compounded Hyksos, but some say that these people are Arabians. 25. Josephus's rendition may arise from a later Egyptian pronunciation of stas sw, which was then understood to mean Lord of Shepherds. 26. It is unclear if this translation was found in Manetho, an Armenian translation of an epitome of Manetho given by the late antique historian Eusebius gives the correct translation of foreign kings. 27. Use. It is now commonly accepted in academic publications that the term refers only to the individual foreign rulers of the late Second Intermediate period, 28, especially of the 15th dynasty, rather than a people. However, it was used as an ethnic term by Josephus. C. Its use to refer to the population still persists in some academic papers. 31. In ancient Egypt, the term Hyksos, SWT, was also used to refer to various Nubian and especially Asiatic rulers both before and after the 15th dynasty. 4. 32. 33. It was used at least since the 6th dynasty of Egypt, c. 2345–2181 BC, to designate chieftains from the Syro-Palestine area. 22. One of its earliest recorded uses is found c. 1900 BC in Thetum of Knumhut II of the 12th dynasty to label a nomad or Canaanite ruler named Abisha the Hyksos, using standard SWT, Hykakasut for Hyksos. 3. 34. Scarabs of Hyksos kings Semkan the Hyksos Khayan the Hyksos Scarabs of Hyksos kings, with Hyksos highlighted. 35. Based on the use of the name in a Hyksos inscription of Saxe-Sahar from Avaris, the name was used by the Hyksos as a title for themselves. 36. However, Kinreholt argues that Hyksos was not an official title of the rulers of the 15th dynasty, and is never encountered together with royal titulary, only appearing as title in the case of Saxe-Sahar. According to Reholt, Hyksos was rather a generic term which is encountered separately from royal titulary, and in regnal lists after the end of the 15th dynasty itself. 37. However, Vera Muller writes, considering that Skhr is also mentioned with 3 names of the traditional Egyptian titulary, Horus name, Golden Falcon name and 2 ladies' name, on the same monument, this argument is somehow strange. 38. Danielle Candelora and Manfred Biatakel-Su argue that the Hyksos used the title officially. 6. 39. All other texts in the ancient Egyptian language do not call the Hyksos by this name, instead referring to them as Asiatics, MW, with the possible exception of the Turin king list in a hypothetical reconstruction from a fragment. 40. The title is not attested for the Hyksos king Apipi, possibly indicating an increased adoption of Egyptian decorum. 41. The names of Hyksos rulers in the Turin list are without the royal cartouche and have the throw stick foreigners determinative. 42. Scarabs also attest the use of this title for pharaohs usually assigned to the 14th or 16th dynasty of Egypt, or sometimes called Lesser Hyksos. 38. The Theban 17th dynasty of Egypt is also given the title in some versions of Manetho, a fact which Biotarch attributes to textual corruption. 41. In the 25th dynasty of Egypt and during the Ptolemaic period, the term Hyksos was adopted as a personal title and epithet by a number of pharaohs or high Egyptian officials, including the Theban official Menshemut, Philip III of Macedon, 43, 44, and Ptolemy 13. 44. It was also used on the tomb of Egyptian Grand Priest Petosiris at Tuna el Jebel in 300 BC to designate the Persian ruler Artaxerxes III, although it is unknown if Artaxerxes adopted this title for himself. 44. Origins. Ancient historians. Blue glazed steatite scarab in a gold mount, with the cartouche of Hyksos ruler Khian N5. G39. And LT. X. I. A. N. And GT. S34. I10. T. N17. Son of Ra, Khian, living forever. In his epitome of Manetho, Josephus connected the Hyksos with the Jews, 45, but he also calls them Arabs. 23. In their own epitomes of Manetho, the late antique historians Sextus Julius Africanus and Eusebius say that the Hyksos came from Phoenicia. 23. Until the excavation and discovery of Tel El Dabbe, the site of the Hyksos capital Avaris, in 1966, historians relied on these accounts for the Hyksos period. 9. 46. Modern historians. Material finds at Tel El Dabbe indicate that the Hyksos originated in the Levant. 9. The Hyksos' personal names indicate that they spoke a Western Semitic language and may be called for convenience Sarke Canaanites. 47. A retinue, associated Toth Hyksos in some Egyptian inscriptions. 48. Camus, the last king of the Theban 17th dynasty, refers to Apipi as a chieftain of retinue in a slur that implies a Levantine background for this Hyksos king. 48. According to Analytifa Morad, the Egyptian application of the term MW to the Hyksos could indicate a range of backgrounds, including newly arrived Levantines or people of mixed Levantine-Egyptian origin. 49. Due to the work of Manfred Biotarch, which found similarities in architecture, ceramics, and burial practices, scholars currently favor a northern Levantine origin of the Hyksos. 50. Based particularly on temple architecture, Biotarch argues for strong parallels between the religious practices of the Hyksos at Avaris with those of Theria around Byblos, Ugarit, Al-Alak, and Tel Brak, defining the spiritual home of the Hyksos as in northernmost Syria and northern Mesopotamia. 51. The connection of the Hyksos to retinue also suggests a northern Levantine origin. Theoretically, it is feasible to deduce that the early Hyksos, as the later Apophis, were of elite ancestry from RNW, at Toponym, cautiously linked with the northern Levant and the northern region of the southern Levant. 49. Earlier arguments that the Hyksos names might be Hurrian have been rejected. 52. While early 20th century proposals that the Hyksos were Indo-Europeans fitted European dreams of Indo-European supremacy, now discredited. 53. A study of dental trays by Nina Marinin and Sonia Zakayuski in 2021 on 90 people of Avaris indicated that individuals defined as locals and non-locals were not ancestrally different from one another. The results were said to be in line with the archaeological evidence, suggesting Avaris was an important hub in the Middle Bronze Age Eastern Mediterranean trade network, welcoming people from beyond its borders. 54. History. Early contacts between Egypt and the Levant. Historical records suggest that Semitic people and Egyptians had contacts at all periods of Egypt's history. 55. The MacGregor plaque, an early Egyptian tablet dating to 3000 BC, records the first occasion of striking the east, with the picture of Pharaoh Den smiting a Western Asiatic enemy. 56.